Hello and welcome to day 67. Today is a grow day, so enjoy it. Enjoy that recovery and that time off from the gym to mentally gather yourself, get yourself rested, recovered, repaired, and ready for the workout tomorrow. In today's video, I'm going to be touching on a question that I got regarding recovery. And the specific question was, is the Theragun a good tool for recovery? So I thought I would go into a little bit more detail what you can do to optimally recover on your grow days aside from just the stretching and 30 minutes of moderate to mild activity. So these are some of the tools and methods that I use if I need a little bit of extra recovery on my grow days. So not specifically every rest day, but if I feel like I need a little bit of extra recovery or something is tight, I will turn to one of these methods. The first one already mentioned being the Theragun. So if you have this, or if you know a massage therapist who has one of these, this can be a good tool for helping release and relax tight muscles. And basically what it does is it works as a meat tenderizer for your muscles. So you turn it on and then you would run it down and around the sore muscles. It's actually fairly quiet, but it picks up really loud on the microphone, so I'm not going to turn it on here. But basically, you just run it over the muscles, and it moves in a very rapid motion and works almost like that style massage. This is really good for me personally in my quads. If I get trigger points in my quads, I'll run it up and down the muscles there. And when I find a trigger point, my quad will actually flex when I hit that point. And then I'll just stay there and let the massage gun work it out. And slowly the muscle will release and relax. And then finally the trigger point will dissipate and everything will loosen up. One thing to keep in mind with the massage gun is if you are using it, make sure that you are using muscle specifically. You do not want to be going on tendon or especially bone, as that's not what it's designed for. So you want to have a decent enough understanding of anatomy that you stick with the muscles and then you can use it quite effectively. I should use this time to jump in real quick and say I'm not a doctor, and you may be a doctor or may not be a doctor, so these are just what I use to help aid in my recovery that I've found effective. You can try them and use them, but I am not writing a prescription for you to do so. So just note that. So another thing I'll use sometimes is these therapy cups. So for those of you who maybe have seen videos or even had it done yourself, cupping therapy, you may have seen people at the gym who have these marks you can kind of see on my back here. And that is from cupping. So if you know what you're doing, or if you don't, you can go to a massage therapist or a holistic healer that does these. The cups basically just suction on. Some of them they'll use fire to like take the air out of the cup, and it's a glass cup, and then it will vacuum the skin in there. Or in this case, you just suction it on and then pull the skin up in there. And what that does is it supposedly draws stagnant blood out of the muscle and brings it to the surface so it can flush away any of the stagnant blood that's there. Supposedly it helps loose up tight areas, pulling the muscle and the skin up in there, kind of breaking up some adhesions and loosening up the tighter areas. This video is not to go into the scientific exactly how these cups work. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there for that. However, I do personally find that they are helpful for me every so often to go ahead and use, especially if my back and shoulders are feeling tight. I do notice a difference in the workout if I cup the night before on a tight back or tight shoulders. The workout the next day will feel much better. The muscles will feel looser. I'm able to get a better range of motion, feel a better stretch, and get a better contraction. Since I do have a cup set and a good understanding of anatomy and kinesiology, I just have my wife cup my back and shoulders, and it works out great. But again, if you don't know what you're doing or know somebody who does, then you can go to a massage therapist who does offer this service and see if it works for you. Lastly, on the extra recovery tricks, I have this trigger point ball. So if there's a trigger point in my glutes, lower back, chest, wherever it may be, you can take this ball and you'll actually lean back into it. Let's say, for example, that the trigger point is in my shoulder. I'd put the ball on my shoulder and actually lean up into a wall so that the ball is pressing firmly into my shoulder and gently roll around until I feel that ball pressing on the trigger point area. You'll know you're there when you feel pain radiating around the area when you press on it. And that's all the lactic acid that's trapped in there. Then you're just going to hold the pressure gently on there, and as you feel the pain starting to radiate out of the area and the area release, you can press more and more firmly into it until you completely break up the area. It may take more than one session to do this, especially if the area is very tender. Take it easy, listen to your body, don't just jump in and go hammer to it. And again, highly recommend you consult a doctor or somebody licensed for this if you do not know what you're doing. I found this ball super beneficial though on numerous occasions where I tend to get a trigger point in my glute. I'll get a big knot in there, and then that radiates pain up my lower back and makes bending over very uncomfortable. So deadlifts, bent over rows, all of that exercises are very severely impacted. So I'll take this, I'll either sit on the ball and roll around, or I'll lean it against the wall firmly into my glute. Sounds a little weird. But I will roll around until I feel that knot in the muscle and then press into it and gently roll that area out, applying more and more pressure as the pain starts to radiate out of the area and it starts to loosen up. And then once you really get it, you can kind of feel the whole muscle just like wiggle and release, and then the pain is just gone. So it's been a game changer as far as extra recovery. As I said, these are all extra methods to be used as needed and with the guidance of a licensed therapist. Obviously, other recovery methods just include the stretching that I recommend throughout the trainer, as well as the active recovery 30 minutes of mild to moderate walking, biking, swimming, whatever it may be, that just allows some blood flow and to get the body nice and recovered. If you have any questions on this method, or if you have any suggestions that have worked well for you, please let me know in the comment section below. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your grow day. Recover, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.